In yesterday's first session of the Class A state quarterfinals, the most intriguing matchup was Columbia against Westmont. It was the most exciting game of the day. An overtime victory for Westmont, led by their all-stater, Pierre Pierce, who scored 41 points, 67-65 the final. Next up, Pinckneyville, which was led by senior Tim Bowersax. He scored 18. Pinckneyville advanced by eliminating Prairie Central, 71-44. So the first semifinal today pits Pinckneyville against Westmont. Inside a sold-out Carver Arena, a near-capacity crowd expected on hand to see 4 high school basketball teams from differing parts of the state vie for a state championship today. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to America's original March Madness. I'm Kurt Pegler. And finally, there are 4, just 4 Class A boys basketball teams left playing in the state. The Bureau Valley Storm, ranked number 2 in the final state poll, the highest-ranked team. Pana, looking for its first state championship since 1988. Westmont, a team that has the best player in the tournament, Pierre Pierce. He's scoring 35 points a game and scored 41 in the quarterfinals yesterday. And Pinckneyville, the team with the storied history, trying to become the first Class A school in IHSA history to win a state title at Huff Gym, at the Assembly Hall, and at Carver Arena. Can they pull off the trifecta? We'll find out. The first Class A semifinal pits Pinckneyville against Westmont. For more on that game, let's go courtside to the gentleman who will be calling that game. Lee Hall, Matt Taphorn.
All right, Kurt, thank you very much. It's the March Madness answer to the Breakfast Club as Pinckneyville takes on Westmont and the guy everybody's talking about, Pierre Pierce. Let's take a look at how these teams got to Peoria, the road to Peoria, if you will. For Westmont, they got by Leo of Chicago in the sectional semifinal, beat Providence St. Mel in overtime, a very exciting game in the sectional final. They beat Moments by 3 in the super and a 2-point win over Columbia yesterday in overtime. For Pinckneyville, Anna Jonesboro in the sectional semi, Cairo in the sectional final. They got by Harrisburg in the super sectional, and yesterday it was a defensive domination of Prairie Central, 71-44. Let's take a look at some of the key players in this game, and let's start with Pinckneyville. And their guy who did it all yesterday, he scored. All right, we're going to go with Westmont first. They are the home team, and their guy is Pierre Pierce, who Kurt was talking about.
Yeah, Pierce, an amazing player. The senior going to Iowa, averages 35 a game. Really dazzled the crowd yesterday with a 41-point performance. They really rely on him. As we talked about, 41 points yesterday, 50% from the field. He takes a lot of shots, 5 out of 8 from three-point range, had 5 rebounds and 6 steals. Big performance out of him. They're going to need that again today. 2 other Sentinels score in double figures. The question today is, does he have enough help against Pinckneyville, who played great defense yesterday in shutting down Casey Hammond of Prairie Central? And Tim Bowersax is the guy with the ball and on the D yesterday. Yeah, Tim Bowersax did a great job. Haven Hicks here on the three-point shot did a great job for them as well. But Bowersax was the guy who really did a good job for them on defense. Haven Hicks, 17 points, 5 out of 10 from the field, 3 out of 5 from the three-point line, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, and 7 assists. But they're going to need a good combined team effort against this Westmont team today. Let's take a look at Matt's keys to today's first semifinal between Pinckneyville and Westmont. For Westmont first. Yeah, Pierre Pierce, he needs to have a big game for them. They expect it out of him night in and night out. He's really going to be tested today. And help. Who's going to step up and help them? Is it going to be Brandon Stedman, who averages 14 points a game? And another key is going to be their legs. They had an overtime game yesterday. Pinckneyville had a relatively easy game. Are they going to be ready to play a full game here today? And for the Panthers, they're going to try and pierce Pierre. Yeah, that's not a typo by any means. They need to take care of Pierre Pierce. Limit him to 25 points. That's the key level right there. Is that possible? We'll see. And balance. Pinckneyville's a very well-balanced team, especially up front, and they want to push the ball. They want to get their transition game going, put a lot of points on the board, and run this Westmont team into the ground. It's number 11 Pinckneyville against number 3 Westmont. We will have the starting lineups and the tip-off for you coming up next. 50 years of IHSA basketball on TV. We will take a look at some of the great moments over the last 50 years as well. We'll be back with more after this IHSA Network break.
Chicago Leo, Providence St. Mel, Moments, and a 2-point placed in 1988. Their superintendent is Dean Brewer. Their principal, Don Smith. Their athletic director is Gary Bunting. 499 students attend Pinckneyville in Perry County, 220 miles south of Peoria. And in this game, they defeated Steelville, DuPoint, and Jonesboro.
Tap Warren back at Carver Arena. Westmont 28-3, Pinckneyville 29-4. Two of the ranked teams still alive in this tournament, Matt.
Yeah, a lot of those teams have been knocked off along the way. Only 3 teams represented in the final 8 here. Pinckneyville and Westmont able to move on yesterday in their wins in the quarterfinal round. Pinckneyville did a great job, just a balanced attack. Talked about Bauer, Saxon, Haven, Hicks, but Westmont is not necessarily a one-man show with Pierre Pierce. He's definitely the guy to watch out here today, but he's got some supporting cast as well, and they'll need to contribute.
And we talked about this yesterday a lot, Matt, about how these teams have played together since grade school, and these Westmont guys have no problem being role players. They've got 2 other guys in double figures, Brandon Stedman and Jason Vervac is right at 9 points a game. They don't have any problem supporting Pierre.
No, and clearly he's the go-to guy. He's taken 3 times as many shots as anybody on the team and almost has half the number of shots on the entire team. So there's no secret as to what they're wanting to try to do, and he has the ball in his hands at all time. He brings the ball down as a point guard at 6'4". They list him as 160. I think he's put together a little better than that, but just a great athlete.
As everyone probably knows, he is committed to Indiana University. It was down between Illinois and Indiana, or Illinois and Iowa rather, and he's going to go play for the Hawkeyes next season. He's going up against Pinckneyville today. Let's go to PA announcer Paul Herzog.
And the Pinckneyville Panthers, 29-4. At this time, we ask you to please stand and to honor America, address the flag with your hand over your heart, remove your caps, as Dan Ream, a student at Macomb High School, leads us in our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And now let's meet the starting lineups for this semifinal contest. At a forward for Westmont, a 6'3" senior, number 21, Brandon Stedman. At a forward for Pinckneyville, a 6'3" senior, number 22, Haven Hicks. The other forward for the Sentinels, a 6'2" senior, number 31, Brett Ladazinski. The other forward for the Panthers, a 6'3" senior, number 54, Cody Majewski. At center for Westmont, a 6'5" senior, number 42, Jody Urbis. At center for Pinckneyville, a 6'5" senior, number 33, Tim Bowersax. At a guard for the Sentinels, a 6'4" senior, number 3, Pierre Pierce. At a guard for the Panthers, a 5'10" senior, number 14, John Fisher. The other guard for Westmont, a 5'9" senior, number 5, Jason Vervac. The other guard for Pinckneyville, a 6' senior, number 20, Kyle Smith. Head coach for Westmont in his second season, where he's 56-5 at Westmont, Craig Etheridge. Head coach in his 26th season at Pinckneyville, where he's 571 and 207, Dick Korn. No other state in America can claim the rich history and tradition that's been generated by March Madness in Illinois. March Madness is an IHSA thing. It always has been and always will be. Fans of America's original March Madness, direct your attention to the arena floor. The officials for this game from Watsika, Kevin Kokenauer, from Chatsworth, Richard Hornickel, and from Chenoa,
and
Brian
Craig Etheridge right there in the gray in the middle of that huddle. In just his second year as head coach of the Sentinels, 56-5, including 28-3 this year. Here's a look at the starting lineup for our morning tip-off between Westmont and Pinckneyville. Pierre Pierce, the guy to watch for Westmont, along with Jason Vervac, Brandon Stedman at forward, Brett Ladizinski, and Jody Urbis is the center. For Pinckneyville, Josh Fisher, Kyle Smith, and then the big three, all scoring in double figures. Haven Hicks, Tim Bowersacks, Cody Majewski. For the Pinckneyville Panthers, a storied tradition in Class A basketball and just high school basketball overall, even the pre-two-class system. This is just the second Elite Eight for Westmont. There's another look at our officials, Kevin Kokenauer, Richard Hornickel, and Brian Schomburg. Here's the opening tip, controlled by Pinckneyville.
Westmont starting out in a 3-2 zone, try to pack it in against the inside game of Pinckneyville. They need to make sure they get to Haven Hicks on the perimeter.
Turnaround jumper for Majewski is no good. Saves it inbounds. And he'll get it back here. A little contact. Majewski up strong.
A lot of contact there. No call by the official. Good job letting the kids play here early on.
There's Pierce, wasting no time. Ladizinski got the rebound. He gets it off the glass. And Pinckneyville comes out of there with it. They won't waste any time bringing it up the floor.
Ladizinski only averaging about 2.5 points a game. Getting a shot off here in the first minute.
Nice ball movement into Bowersacks. Gets his own rebound. Good job on the glass so far for the Panthers. That's Fisher with the drive, and he'll go to the line. Nice job of penetrating by the senior guard.
Yeah, that time they did catch Jody Urbis with the body and the shot inside, and that's something that Josh Fisher did continuously in the ball game yesterday, was drive the ball into the paint to get some shot opportunities.
He scored 12 yesterday and was a perfect 6 of 6 at the line. Continues that streak here. Fisher makes them both. It's a 4-0 Pinckneyville lead.
The big matchup up on top there is Pierre Pierce and Tim Bowersacks. Bowersacks did a great job against Casey Hammond yesterday of Perry Central and held him to only 7 points.
Stedman, the turnaround jumper, he's fouled and he'll go to the line.
We touched on this in the open as well. Brandon Stedman averages 14 points a game. He's a guy that they need support out of in order to take some of the pressure off Pierre Pierce.
First personal on Majewski. There's Dick Korn, his 26th year at Pinckneyville. Stedman at the line, bounces the first one, no good. He's a 74% free thrower, 6'3" senior. Missed 9 games this season with an injury.
He said he was on the line before he took the shot. That's a rare call. They blew the whistle even before he released the ball.
First I thought maybe something was wrong with the clock, or maybe something we couldn't see. Nice pass inside. There's Bowersacks.
Yeah, quick timeout now by Westmont. Pinckneyville's on a roll here early. Westmont looks a little unorganized. They missed 2 free throw opportunities, and so far have a goose egg on the scoreboard.
Dick Korn, 26 years, 571 wins. Record-setting day on opening day here. 2 teams with the highest free throw percentage. Columbia and Westmont set that in the second quarterfinal yesterday. most three-point field goals made. They tied that record, Pana and Farmington, with a shootout last night. Team three-point percentage. Farmington tied a record, shooting almost 54%. And 17 players were perfect at the line. You don't see that much anymore.
No, anymore you don't. That's right. Free throws seem to be a Achilles heel for a lot of players these days, but great job by these teams here at Carver Arena in the quarterfinals.
Pierre Pierce brings it up, averaging 35 points a game. His Sentinels are scoreless after a minute and a half. Haven Hicks almost comes up with the steal.
Bowersax is all over Pierre Pierce on the offensive end.
Vervac no good. Here come the Panthers looking to build on a 6-0 lead. Off to a good start here Saturday morning. Here's
another body
Fisher
foul
again. Good job. He did that yesterday, and one of the unsung heroes on this Pinckneyville team.
Boy, Fisher does a great job of getting the ball released from his hand before he even gets in contact with the defender. Watch how quickly the ball is released before he even gets to the defender. Great job, and goes to the line for 2 shots once again.
First personal on Ladizinski. And Fisher, as we mentioned, one of those guys that tied the record with the perfect day at the line, and he's still perfect.
Pinckneyville playing with a lot of confidence right now. You can see it out there in their faces. They're really ready to play today.
Fisher's 10 for 10 at the line in the tournament. Here's Pierce looking for an opening. Passes inside. Stedman. Little jump hook, no good. Battle on the board. Stedman gets it back, up and in. And it took 2 minutes and 15 seconds, but Westmont's on the board.
Good effort there by Jody Urbis to keep the ball alive on the boards and allow Stedman a second chance opportunity to knock one in.
There's Kyle Smith for 3. The 2 non-scorers for Pinckneyville are lighting it up.
Well, that's the attention that the rest of the players are drawing. Haven Hicks and Bowersax are drawing a lot of attention there on the offensive end.
And Pierce answers, 41 yesterday.
Little running bank shot that time by Pierce. May have looked out of control and off balance, but he can knock down that shot with regularity.
And they try to go inside to Majewski, and Westmont comes away with the steal. Reach in from behind will go against Bowersax.
Tough call there on Bowersax. He was really trying to track Pierre Pierce in his dribble down the court and come up from behind with a steal. Reached in and was called for the foul.
And notice Pierre's got the road and home headband too. He was wearing the white one yesterday. He's got the dark one on with the dark uniform today. That's important to be coordinated color-wise. Yeah. 11-4, the early lead for Pinckneyville. That's Ladizinski with the miss.
That's not a shot that they're going to look at too often in this ball
Quickly
game.
ahead to Bowersax off the glass. Good counted three-point play opportunity for Bowersax. That was all set up by the bad shot at the other end.
It was out of transition. Ladizinski does not have a three-point shot on the entire season, and he launched one down there. Good job by Haven Hicks recognizing Bowersax had beaten the team down the floor. Hit him with a perfect pass in stride for the easy lay-in. Now a three-point play.
Bowersax with 5. And a big lead early for Pinckneyville. This IHSA broadcast brought to you by Country Insurance. Real people, real answers, real quick. And by the Midwest Dairy Association on behalf of your local dairy farmers. Ah, the power of cheese. Here's a look at the team matchups. Both teams like to score. 70 a game for Westmont, 69 for Pinckneyville. The Panthers with a little bit better defensive average.
And we've seen that here in the early going, 14-4 with 4.5 minutes to play in the first quarter already.
Both teams shoot at about equal from three-point range. Pretty decent at the line. Westmont the better rebounding team, and they got a little bit, not much of a reach. And there's what March Madness is all about. These little guys grow up dreaming of playing for a state championship from an early age. My first memory is 1973, Ridgeway, the Class A state champions, my mom's hometown, the former popcorn capital of the world.
Mine was much later than that.
Well, yeah.
I'm thinking about 1980.
All right. Can we get his microphone cut? Look at the field goal percentage. Pinckneyville just shooting great, and Westmont, a lot of that shot selection.
It really is. They haven't done a good job of moving the ball around, and Bowersax picks up his second foul. That could be huge. 3.5 minutes into the first quarter.
Taking nothing away from Casey Hammond, who's a great one-on-one player, but Pierre Pierce, rather, he's got a lot of quicks.
Well, and Pierce has about 4 inches on Casey Hammond, too.
Yep. Misses the first free throw. The Iowa-bound senior's a 72% free thrower. Makes the second. He's got 3. It's 14-5 now. Pinckneyville. Just under 4.5 minutes to go first quarter rather.
Pierce was 8 out of 8 from the line yesterday in his ball game where he hit 41 points. So a rare miss for him.
He didn't do too much wrong yesterday, did he?
Good inside-out action by Pinckneyville.
Haven Hicks' first three-point attempt is off the mark. He had 17 in yesterday's win and really had a good game behind the line as well. There's Pierce, rattles in and out. Followed up by Stedman. Boy, they can't buy one.
Well, he's not using the board inside either. Good offensive rebound, but a poor execution on the second shot.
Skip pass to Kyle Smith for 3. It's off the mark. Pierce the rebound. He's also Westmont's leading rebounder at 9 a game.
And Westmont's done a better job here as of late, last couple trips, of rebounding the basketball. A couple of easy putbacks by Pinckneyville here in the first quarter.
Ladizinski almost throws it away. Good hustle by Vervac to pick it up. Here's Pierce. Nice move. Can't finish. Pinckneyville taps. Here's Bowersax with it ahead to Smith. On the break, Hicks can't catch up to it, and it'll be Westmont ball.
A little mustard on that bounce pass that time, trying to get to Haven Hicks. Instead of making the easy pass that time, Kyle Smith threw a little too hard on the bounce pass. At the other end, Pierre Pierce trying to force the action and draw the foul.
Thomas Frawley, number 10 into the ball game. Piercing fact number 1, 10 40-plus games, and that season-high 52 against Lamont earlier in the year.
Make that 11 40-plus games with yesterday's performance.
That foul's on Fisher on the reach. Westmont the inbounds. Vervac, the 3 is no good. Pierce high for the rebound, up and good.
Good no call that time by the officials. Pierce went straight up. He had Josh Fisher right in front of him as he went over the back to get the rebound. Easy putback. Now they're only down 7.
Pinckneyville by a touchdown. Westmont's gone man. Looks to be man. Bowersax inside against the double team. He's got 7.
Yeah, Bowersax at 6'5", 180 against Frawley inside at 6'2", 150. Definite advantage there to Pinckneyville.
Urbis off the mark. Haven Hicks with the rebound for Pinckneyville.
And Pinckneyville's defense doing a good job of making Pierce give the ball up on offense.
Kyle Smith can't finish. Under 2 minutes to go first quarter now. It's a 9-point Pinckneyville lead. They've led by 10. Pierce up strong against the contact and good.
And I believe if the defender would have flopped down there, he might have drawn a charge there. But Pierce, as active as he is, still has no fouls in this game. And in the entire game yesterday, only picked up a couple.
Good strong move by the senior. He has 7. I've come prepared, by the way. I've given him 2 lines in the scorebook, just in case.
Good strategy.
Thanks.
You ran out of room yesterday. He's starting to warm up now with 7 points.
Bowersax, nice move.
Good adjustment there. Midway through his shot, he just leaned a little bit to his left to get an open lane to the basket.
Here's Frawley with it. Rebound from Michael McConaughey, number 42 into the ball game, and again Pinckneyville throws it past their receivers.
Pinckneyville really wants to run the ball, and that's something that Westmont's used to as well. But in the game they had yesterday, winning by 30 or 27 points, And the fact that Westmont had to go overtime to win their game, they feel they have the advantage and can wear them down, make this game, you know, much longer as far as the distance goes, make it a 94-foot ball game.
Darren McCombs, number 44, in for Pinckneyville, as is Jason Hoagland, number 12.
Tough leaner in the lane that time by Pierce. As I said, he's starting to warm up. Now he's got 9 points here in the first quarter.
Pinckneyville brings it across with a 7-point lead, and time running out here in the first quarter. Probably see them hold for one, although the defensive pressure here by Westmont's pretty solid. As we approach 10 seconds now, Pinckneyville will go into action. Hoagland with it. Now with 2, with 1. Fisher bounces it, no good. Strong start for the Panthers. And Craig Etheridge trying to come back. 18-11 after 1 quarter. We'll be back with more on the IHSA network after this local break.
Here again are Ed and Marilyn.
You basketball fans have something to talk about tonight. And now here's something to talk about that's a real bargain.
That's right. Long-distance rates are getting lower and lower, and that means you can make people happy more often with a long-distance call.
Who's a very active part of the Pinckneyville offense, scored a basket early on for the Panthers. Left the game with a bloody nose. He sat out most of the first quarter. The bleeding has apparently stopped. He's going to re-enter to start the second period. Lee?
All right, Kurt, thanks a lot. And how about Ed McMahon making an appearance? Hi-oh! Hi-oh!
Dick Clark surely has aged a little bit better
with
than
Miss America
Dick
1958.
Ed McMahon has.
Vince Lloyd, that's going back a couple of years. That's even before my time.
First quarter, Pinckneyville defense did a great job on the entire Westmont team. Only 31% shooting. Pierre Pierce was 4 out of 7. The rest of the team was 1 out of 9, and making 5 out of 8 for Pierre Pierce as he lays one in here in the second quarter.
Alley-oop time for Pierce. He's got 11 of Westmont's 13 to underscore your point. McCombs with it. He's a senior, but doesn't see a lot of playing time. Not bashful about putting up the shot. Pierce runs down the rebound in the corner, and he's fouled by Majewski just back into the ball game. Let's take a look where these teams are coming from. Westmont up in the Chicago area, and Pinckneyville down in Southern Illinois. Trying to bring the state title back to that area.
Pinckneyville's front line starting to get a little bit of foul trouble. Majewski and Bowersax both with 2 fouls, team with 5.
Tried to alley-oop that time to Stedman after getting one to Pierce. That one didn't work. Bowersax back in, so is number 14, Josh Fisher.
As you watch Westmont in their offensive sets, every time Pierre Pierce gives the ball up, bad things happen on their offense, and when he keeps the ball, he's been very successful.
Inside Majewski, and now gives it to Bowersax. They work it around. Hicks inside, tough angle, and Westmont might have done him a favor there. Ladizinski with a foul, and Bowersax didn't have much of an angle there. He's almost underneath the basket.
No, but he's very active with the ball. Good pass inside by Haven Hicks. You see where he's getting the ball inside the lane again. A little bump underneath with the body, that time by Ladizinski. But Tim Bowersax very active inside the paint.
2 fouls on Ladizinski. As good as Bowersax is, just 58% at the line. It's not Adam Hardy, but Tim Bowersax, who averages 15.7 a game, missed the second free throw.
Adam Hardy would be number 33 on Westmont's team.
Here's Pierce. Man.
And he's doing that against an excellent defender in Tim Bowersax. And again, Bowersax has 2 fouls, not one to pick up a third. And I'm sure that the Westmont coach has really made sure that Pierre Pierce realizes that and take the ball to the basket.
Majewski, nice drop step.
That's a big mismatch inside. Majewski's got about 50 pounds against the Westmont defender there and took it right at him.
Stedman no good. Majewski the rebound. He averages 5.5 a game. Puts it on the floor. The big fella almost loses it. Westmont wanted to travel.
I don't know how that's not a travel. He stopped his dribble and then went about 5 more feet just juggling the ball.
Bowersax, another good hanging move in the lane. He's got 12.
They don't have an answer for the inside game right now for Pinckneyville, being Westmont's defense.
Pierce trying to do it himself and does. Tough move, a lot of contact, bounced it in.
And he wanted the foul too.
Brandon Stedman is the only other Sentinel to score. 15 for Pierce, 17 for Westmont. Turnover Pinckneyville. Their fourth. Jody Urbis back in for the Sentinels. Thomas Frawley takes a seat.
Pierre Pierce with 15 points here in the first half. He's 7 out of 10 from the field. The rest of the team is 1 out of 10. Make that 1 out of 11.
Vervac.
Good no-look pass. Over the back on Haven Hicks. Boy, tough. Just led Bowersax just a little bit too far. Bowersax had to catch the ball and come up on the other side of the rim. And that's the fast break that Pinckneyville wants to get going. Good no-look pass, but as Bowersax caught the ball, may have seen Pierre Pierce coming in from the side as well, but Haven Hicks comes over the back against Ladizitsky with the big, strong rebound.
As good a start as it's been for Pinckneyville, it could have been better. They haven't been able to finish on those fast break opportunities.
Now, the one they did was with Bowersax laying it in as he got fouled. But other than that, Westmont's done a decent job of getting back defensively in transition.
Under 5 minutes to go now, second quarter. 6-point Pinckneyville lead. Stedman. The struggles continue. Hicks waits for everybody to catch up, and Pinckneyville will run the offense a little bit here. Majewski, muscle. Good call there, Urbis, leaning in with the body.
Yeah, down low, he was being pushed off the block that time by Urbis. Bowersax does a great job of getting himself in position down low to get the ball, and they look for him on the lob pass.
Westmont's cut into the lead just a little bit. We'll be back after this network break on the IHSA Basketball Network.
Daddy, can I have some cheese?
Sure, honey.
This is my friend Mr. Giggles. He wants a piece too.
Mr. Giggles, huh?
Yeah, he really wants some.
Well, Mr. Giggles, why don't you go get a job so you can buy your own cheese?
Oh, I see you met Mr. Giggles.
Ah, the power of cheese.
Well, thanks, Tom. You know, it's just about time for us to say good night.
And so, on behalf of Illinois Bell, we hope you've enjoyed this year's telecast of the Illinois High School Association Basketball Tournament.
And we do hope we've left you with something to talk about in the way of rate reductions and new and improved services that can make your telephone service more enjoyable, convenient, and economical.
Yes! Ed McMahon again. Piercing fact number 2 for Westmont. Pierce has led the team in scoring in every game but one.
And he didn't play in that game.
Stedman led them in scoring on January 5th against Ridgewood when he had 12. And we talked in the open, and one of your keys of the game was, does Pierre Pierce have enough help? Not yet.
No, and as we touched on, he's 7 out of 10. The rest of the team's 1 out of 12. Certainly nobody has stepped up to contribute. Stedman's only 1 out of 5 from the field.
Pinckneyville with the ball in a 6-point lead. Hicks tries to make it 9.
Pierce really gets off his feet quick and went up high for that rebound.
5 rebounds for the senior. Up against the double team. Hicks got a hand on it. It'll be Westmont's ball. We talked to Pierre and his coach, Craig Etheridge, on Thursday, and they say they've seen just about every defense imaginable this year, and nothing has worked.
Well, that may be the case.
So far, anyway. And they get the foul.
Be the third foul.
Is that on
Bowersax again?
It was.
Trouble. Wow.
His third personal with 4:18, and he'll have to sit the rest of the first half. And he's replaced by Michael McConaughey, a 6'2 sophomore who saw some playing time yesterday. They give up a lot of experience and a lot of scoring there.
We'll have to see who Pinckneyville counters with on the defensive matchup. I'm guessing Haven Hicks.
Jody Urbis, 4-year starter for Westmont, airballs the first free throw.
It's gotten worse. The supporting cast hasn't even been able to hit a free throw, and now they can't even draw an iron on a free throw.
Those guys better put their shirts back on. The Jody fans. Inside, Majewski can't get the handle, then does. Majewski with 6.
Did a good job staying with it. The ball is bobbled around. Pierce got his hands on it momentarily. Majewski was able to get it and lay it in.
Back to an 8-point Pinckneyville lead.
It's actually Kyle Smith who drew the defensive assignment on Pierce. They
on
just
the
can't get one to go.
Ladizinski couldn't get the follow. Fisher in the lane. The bank is open.
And he got bumped a little bit on that shot again.
And now Pinckneyville comes up with a turnover. Hicks throws it up, and he's fouled.
Pinckneyville starting to put the pressure on here on the full court. The out-of-bounds play, a little lackadaisical. Good job that time by Kyle Smith to intercept the pass. Dishes off to Haven Hicks, who takes it strong to the bucket and draws the foul. 2 mental errors that time by Vervac.
Hicks bounces the first one, no good. He had 17 points, 7 assists yesterday in the win over Prairie Central. He's a 6'3 senior. And he scores his first point of the afternoon and gives Pinckneyville their biggest lead of 11. They're on a 9-2 run. Westmont can't buy a bucket.
Still can't. This is amazing.
Jason Vervac goes to the line. He'll try to become just the 3rd sentinel for Craig Etheridge to score in this game. They played well in the new year, 20-1 since Christmas, an 11-game win streak. Trying to extend that here today, and Vervac gets on the board. He's a 79% free throw. McCombs in for Majewski for Pinckneyville. Second one's no good.
Looked like another travel there as Haven Hicks lost control momentarily.
Nice pass. McConaughey put it on the floor and probably could have had a layup if he would have just gone up strong right away. Instead, he draws the foul against Westmont.
And again, Jody Urbis with the body foul that time. He's been called for his 3rd foul in the same fashion. Here, Pierce helped out from behind with the block, but to no avail.
McConaughey, the sophomore, at the line. It's his first free throw. He's a 72% free throw shooter. He's in for Bowersax, who's on the bench with 3 personals. And that's Michael Del Preto in. He replaces Vervac for Westmont. 3:08 to go here, second quarter. And Pinckneyville's been able to extend their lead. This is their biggest lead at 12. Count it. Pierce will go to the line. He'd been quiet for a couple of minutes.
And that's great awareness by the Westmont offense, too. You've got Kyle Smith at 6 foot 157 trying to guard Pierre Pierce down on the block. Pierce does a good job of being strong with the ball, splitting the double team, getting it up to a nice soft touch off the rim.
Just 3 of 7 at the line after that made free throw. 18 for Pierce. 21 for his team. They trail by 9. And the entry pass picked off by Pierce ahead to Stedman, and that probably wasn't the smartest decision. That's probably the only thing you could say about yesterday's game for Pierce is he had 4 assists and 4 turnovers.
Well,
that's probably the only negative
those
thing.
are the exact type of turnovers he had, was in transition, picking the ball up with one hand off the dribble and throwing it down the court, and he just wasn't able to get good control of the ball as he made the pass. He might as well hang on to the ball, because again, he's 8 for 14. The rest of the team's 1 for 14.
And he scores again, cuts it to 7. 20 points for Pierce.
And keep in mind, Bowersax is on the bench with 3 fouls. A lot of that caused by Pierre Pierce and his offensive activity.
He's trapping half court, causing Pinckneyville a few problems here, but Fisher gets blocked, goes up with it again, and Westmont comes away with it. That's Ladizinski with the rebound. He averages 5 a game. Minute 45 left, second quarter. Westmont tries to cut it to 5. They could cut it to 3 with the bomb. Instead, they turn it over.
Pierce is starting to wear down on offense. He's standing around a little bit. He's getting bumped quite a bit. It'll be interesting to see how he can wear out like this in the full 4 quarters.
Pinckneyville trying to hang on to that lead with one of their top players on the bench. Bowersax with 3 personals. And foul away from the ball to go against Michael Del Preto of Westmont. He was holding Kyle Smith as he tried to cut through the lane. And Smith will go to the line to shoot the bonus.
Kyle Smith is being very physical out there on the defensive end. He's got Pierce. That's getting his emotions moving, and he's been a little physical down here on the offensive end, drawing that foul.
Kyle Smith hits the free throw. That gives him 4.
Pinckneyville 10 out of 12 now in the first half.
Smith gets the lead back up to 9 as we approach the 1-minute mark. Westmont's hanging around. Pierce, good. And a 10-point lead, probably not very much with him in the game. 22.
No, but they really haven't done much defensively. They're extending their defense, and Pinckneyville's being very patient and get the ball to the basket.
McConaughey goes up strong. Again, I thought he put the ball on the floor. Maybe he didn't need to. If he was just a half step quicker to the hoop, he would have scored.
Well, the entire Westmont defense is playing about the free throw line extended out to half court. So Pinckneyville's being very patient getting the ball to the basket for scoring opportunities.
McConaughey at the line, bounces it no good. Foul was on Stedman, his first for Westmont. And the second one's up and good for McConaughey.
Coach Dick Korn has got to be feeling very good over there on the sideline, even though he's got 2 of his starters with 3 fouls. Bowersax went out of the ball game with a 6-point lead, and they've actually extended that to 8.
Under a minute to play now. And here's Haven Hicks with the steal, trying to outrun Westmont, and he's caught, and they call an intentional foul.
He went for the ball. You can't call that intentional.
Thomas Brawley whistled for the intentional foul. That's a controversial call here. He did slap at the ball.
That was a hard foul. Watch the replay. Watch his right arm goes for the ball. He catches him across the wrist. Well, what the official saw from the backside was his left arm around him. I think what he was trying to do is actually catch him from not falling. The official from behind called him for reaching around from the backside as well. Tough break that time for Westmont.
So Hicks will get the 2 free throws, and Pinckneyville will get the ball. Hicks makes them both. 10-point lead now. And the basketball. Craig Etheridge just 30 years old in his second year at Westmont. And now Pinckneyville will try and hold for one.
The middle's wide open on this offense.
And Hicks held it about a beat too long. Did the shot fake instead of just putting it up quickly. Pierce floats on the 3 and misses.
He's been short on all his threes. That's an indication his legs are a little tired.
McConaughey, nice give to McCombs. His first basket. And it's a 12-point lead that matches Pinckneyville's biggest as they go to the locker room. Pierre Pierce did it all for Westmont, but it's just not enough. 22 of their 25 first half points.
Well, sometimes when you have a guy that does it all, that becomes more of a problem than a solution. The rest of the team stands around waiting for him to do something to lift the team up.
Here's Kurt Pegler with Pinckneyville head coach Dick Korn.
Dick, obviously you got to be happy with being up at halftime. You've held, outside of Mr. Pierce, only 1 field goal for the rest of the team, so your defense is stopping everybody else.
Well, we knew coming in we couldn't stop him, and a big concern was to make sure that nobody else stepped up and had a better game than they normally have, and that's proven to be the case so far. Our biggest problem right now, our biggest concern is foul trouble. I mean, our 2 leading players are sitting on the bench with 3 fouls, but if we can play with them on the backboards and stay patient offensively, why, we ought to be okay.
And offensively, you've spread the floor and got a lot of easy looks down low.
Well, we had to spread the floor when we got our 2 top rebounders out. I mean, we had to take a little time off the clock and limited their touches, and we were able to do that.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Good first half for Dick Korn and Pinckneyville, which has the lead. Lee?
All right, Kurt, and he talked about staying with Westmont on the boards. Westmont 17 rebounds, 15 for Pinckneyville. The Panthers go to the locker room with a 12-point halftime lead. We'll be back with more March Madness from the Peoria Civic Center after this IHSA network break.
Halftime at Carver Arena, the first semifinal halfway done. Pinckneyville leads Westmont 37-25. The winner of this game will move into the championship game at 8:15 and play for the Class A state title tonight against the winner of Game 2, which will pit Pana against Bureau Valley. It's been an interesting first couple of days, I should say day and a half, and we're going to be talking with a guy who's seen 63 consecutive state championship tournaments here in Peoria and in Champaign, except for the 4 that he served in the service. I'm talking about Stanley Kennedy, and in fact, Stanley is sitting over in the front row here. I'm going to try to walk over and see if I can't get him if you want to follow me here. Stanley Kennedy has seen all these state championships dating back to his days in Champaign. You're from Toluca. You've seen 63, going back to 1938, all those tournaments except for the years that you served in the war.
That is correct.
How do you get tickets to all those events?
Well, continuously, over the years, you send in your application for 2 tickets or 1, and so I've been very fortunate, been able to come to the tournaments all those years.
Are there a couple of players or a couple of teams that stand out in your mind of seeing all those state championships since 1938?
Well, I remember Dundee, of course, the first one in 1938, and of course Hebron, and Pinckneyville was always a favorite, and of course the old days of Collinsville and Benton, Marion, and all those schools, Rockford, Decatur, but always for the small schools have been outstanding.
It must be a big thrill every year. Obviously, you must like it to keep coming back year after year.
Yes, I do. It's a big, I enjoy with the comradeship of the fans and the young ones and the old ones, and to see these people out on the floor. There's a lot of changes, much faster, shooting from all over the floor.
Yeah, tell me about that. You've seen the three-point shot. You've seen the bigger, stronger players. I mean, the game has changed in 60 years.
Very much so. It's hard to realize. Like Pinckneyville back in the 40s and 50s, They used to play their slow, deliberate style. Now they're very fast and shooting from over the floor. It's quite a change, but I'm enjoying it.
Can you compare eras when you look at the 90s and the 80s and the 70s and the 60s? You've seen the guys wear baggy shorts and real short shorts. I mean, it's fun, but is there a particular era that you like the best in basketball?
Well, possibly maybe in the 60s and 70s. But everything changes styles, the way people, you and I dress, and the hairstyle and all those things. So you have to be accustomed to it, regardless of your age. The thing is, you enjoy the comradeship and see these young people having a good time.
So who has more fun, you or the players, because you're here all the time?
Well, I'm sure the players do, but I enjoy watching because it's a big event in their life to be able to come to a state tournament. And Peoria does an outstanding job.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right, Stanley Kennedy from nearby Toluca, 63 straight tournaments except for the 4 years when he served in the war. It is halftime. It's 37-25 in favor of Pinckneyville, and we'll be back after this local break.
From the line, Westmont was 3 out of 7. Pinckneyville, 14 out of 17. However, in personal fouls, Westmont had 10 and Pinckneyville had 9. Rebound, 17 for Westmont, 15 for Pinckneyville. The rebounder is Pierre Pierce with 6 for Westmont. And for Pinckneyville, David Hicks has 6 rebounds. Scoring leader ball game, Pierre Pierce with 22 points.
37-25, our halftime score, Pinckneyville over Westmont, and the challenge for the Sentinels in the second half has got to be to get everybody else involved. And we talked about Pierre Pierce, and it seems like he's a one-man team coming into this game. He really isn't, though. He's got a couple other guys that score in double figures, and the help hasn't been there for him so far.
Well, you clearly can't beat a team with one man only. He's done a great job. He's got 22 of their 25 points here in the first half, but they're still down 12 points. The rest of the team is shooting only 1 out of 14 from the field. They've got to find somebody to step up and make some shots, or else this game's going to be over in a hurry, and the team's starting to get a little tired.
Here's a look at the first half stats. Both teams with 11 field goals. Pinckneyville shooting a better percentage. Neither team really doing much from three-point range. Look at the free throws. Pinckneyville has gotten to the line 17 times. They've got a 14-3 edge in the free throws. Rebounds are close, as are the turnovers. Leading scorers for both teams. Westmont, of course, Pierre Pierce with 22. Stedman and Vervac, the only other two Sentinels to score. Bowersax with 12. Fisher has 6. Majewski has 6. And Smith with 5. And that's been the story for Pinckneyville all year, balance.
Well, another key right now is Bowersax and Majewski both have 3 fouls. And even with that, they were able to extend that 6-point lead out to 12 to end the half. But the thing I pointed on was I think that Pierre Pierce and the rest of the Westmont team starting to get a little tired. They had that overtime game yesterday.
Right.
Now they're starting to wear out a little bit.
And they're trying to do that half-court trap, and that's taken a lot out of them, too. 37-25, our halftime score here at Carver Arena in Peoria. As March Madness continues, we will be back with third quarter action after these breaks on the IHSA Basketball Network. 37-24, our halftime score as Pinckneyville and Westmont take the floor and get ready for third quarter action here. The Sentinels trying to get back into this one and play for a state championship tonight. Let's take a look at those first half highlights.
And who are the highlights going to feature on Westmont's team? I guarantee it's going to be Pierre Pierce. That's about all they've had going for him. Here on the lob pass for the lay-in, 2 of his 22 points. And again, he's done a good job of getting into the body of Bowersax. And there against Haven Hicks was able to draw the contact and the foul and get the bucket for a 3-point opportunity. For Pinckneyville, it's just been a matter of getting the ball inside out. Bowersax does a good job, and again, watch him adjust his body as he goes up, squares the shoulders, and knocks down the big shot for 2 of his 12 points in the first half. And Pinckneyville, when they've had their chances, have moved the ball up the floor. Here again, down the floor, McConaughey was the beneficiary of that lay-in.
All right, let's go to Kurt Pegler. He's with Westmont coach Craig Etheridge.
All right, Lee, thank you. Yes, I'm with Craig Etheridge here, and I'm sure that you talked about trying to get more parts in the puzzle working than just Pierre Pierce at halftime here, huh?
Oh, yeah, it became the Pierre Pierce show where Pierre played hard and everybody stood around and watched him, and we don't win a lot of games when that's happening, so we've got to get other people involved, and it's not necessarily Pierre's fault. He's trying, but my other guys right now aren't doing the job.
How can you do that? How can you get more of these pieces of the puzzle going?
They just have to have more confidence. They're getting the ball in some decent spots, but they're not looking to score. They're making lazy passes instead of being aggressive and having confidence. They're just trying to find Pierre and let him win the game for us, and that's not going to happen.
Good luck in the second half.
Thanks.
All right, Craig Etheridge and his Westmont club has some work to do. Lee?
Pegs, thanks a lot. 37-25, the halftime score. Third quarter action coming your way next after this network break. Lee Hall, Matt Taphorn back in Peoria. Jay Schuyler, the all-time scoring leader for Lawrenceville, 157 points in 4 games. Pierre Pierce is on his way, 69 points in 2 games.
Make that 91 now through half of this game.
And Pinckneyville goes inside, more of the same. Majewski with the bucket.
And Urbis, the first 10 seconds of the second half picks up his 4th foul. He's the only kind of inside presence they really have. Picks up his 4th foul. Good effort by Majewski, but he's getting the ball way too close for the Westmont defense.
He had just 7 points yesterday, makes the free throw. It's a 15-point Pinckneyville lead now. Majewski with 9. And Urbis has to go to the bench.
Bowersax now to start the third quarter. He's guarding Stedman instead of Pierce.
And the pass goes right to our broadcast spot.
And Kyle Smith, who ended that half, did a good job on Pierce. Denied the ball there and forced the turnover by Westmont.
Josh Fisher will bring it up against the Westmont pressure. Burvac all over him. Inside, nice catch and bucket by Bowersax.
Great catch inside, and again, with Jody Urbis on the bench, the biggest player for Westmont, they're going right inside the Bowersax.
Stedman had it halfway down and it bounced out, and a foul against Westmont will go against number 31, Ladizinski. That's his 3rd.
The rest of the guys on this team just cannot buy a bucket. That was halfway down, just like the Farmington layup yesterday. Just rolled in and out.
Well, the beginnings of Westmont, they were suppliers for Chicago of bricks. As Majewski turns it over, the Chicago Fire, 1871, that's how Westmont got started. The Excelsior Brick Company, and unfortunately for Westmont, Pierre Pierce's teammates are continuing that tradition.
A little bit of a forced shot there last time down the floor by Pierce. Came up short trying to draw the foul. Pinckneyville's really firing on all cylinders right now. A couple of turnovers here the last couple trips down the floor, though. A little anxious to get the ball to the basket.
Pierce's teammates 1 for 15.
Stedman on the drive. Oh, thought that might have been a jump ball, but Majewski's whistled for the foul. All he did was stand there and hold his defensive spot. Oh, it's a tough call. Majewski, I thought, did a great job defensively, just holding his position, maintaining his ground. Brandon Stedman really comes into him, draws the foul, gets no shot off. That'll be the 4th foul on Majewski. I'm surprised they didn't give him 2 shots on it. He was going up for a shot. Not a popular call at the Pinckneyville end of the floor. Boy. Stedman with another brick in the wall. Nice try. Nice try by Fisher. Good follow. Bauer Sachs with 16. And it's all Pinckneyville here in the 3rd quarter. A 7-0 run. Boy, what a shot. It won't count. For Pierce to get that ball up to the basket even. Phenomenal. Craig Etheridge needs a timeout. Yeah, the confidence right now is starting to leave the building for Westmont. Pinckneyville, as we touched on, is really starting to hit their stride. Defensively, it's creating some opportunities for their offense. They're running the break, starting to wear down Westmont right now. And that good Pinckneyville defense continues here today. Only 25 allowed here through the first couple of minutes of the 3rd quarter. And we showed Jay Scheidler's name just a few minutes ago. Jay Scheidler and Marty Simmons, both of Lawrenceville fame, the only 2 players to lead their teams to state titles, averaging more than 35 points a game. Yeah, it's, like I said before, it's tough to win a championship on your own, especially over a 3-day period. Westmont down now 19. The frustration showing on Pierre Pierce. And Kyle Smith really picking it up defensively. They're having a great effort here for Pinckneyville. Westmont comes up with the steal here. 6 minutes left, 3rd quarter. Inside, Pierce off the glass. Now he's having trouble. Stedman picks it up, gives to Pierce. Pierce is really starting to get tired. Yeah, just doesn't have any spring in his legs. This game's starting to wear on him. He's really trying to put this team on his back, and they're getting a little heavy. The whistles against Haven Hicks. His 2nd personal, 3rd team foul on Pinckneyville. Inside to Stedman, and finally another bucket for someone other than Pierre Pierce. Stedman with 4. He's the only other player to score a field goal for Westmont. And that was the first basket of the 2nd half for Westmont. Boy, how did he get that ball off the basket? Bauer Sachs again. Bauer Sachs really starting to take over and show his strength. Good pass inside. Little shot fake by Haven Hicks, but Bauer Sachs gets it, goes straight to the lane, draws the contact, splits the double team, and gets it up to the rim and in. 2 of 3 at the line today. Make it 3 of 4 as he makes that. 19 points. It's a 10-2 run to start the 3rd for Pinckneyville. Stedman nowhere to go. Gives to Frawley. Nice catch. Pierre Pierce showing his athletic ability just to catch that ball. He puts it off the glass. And is the whistle on Bauer Sachs? If it is, it'll be his 4th. It is. So Bauer Sachs and Majewski, the 2 leading scorers for Pinckneyville, will be on the bench with 4 personals. The good news for the Panthers is they have a 20-point lead. And the way right now that Kyle Smith is defending Pierre Pierce, it's not as big of a loss as we might have thought going into this ball game, having Bauer Sachs being the guy that would be looked upon to shut down Pierre Pierce. Pierre Pierce, 24 of the 29 Sentinel points. And here's the full court pressure. Hicks gets it across. Big
give to McConaughey. Can't hit the lefty layup. And here comes Pierce with it. Goes against the smaller Fisher, but can't make the layup. And the rebound goes to Kyle Smith.
Loses the dribble once again. Pinckneyville in transition.
Stedman the steal for Westmont. 4:30 to go here, third quarter. Almost another steal for Pinckneyville. Verback for three. In and out. Good follow by Ladizinski, but he can't make the layup.
Whoa,
jump ball. And it'll be Sentinel ball on the alternating possession.
Just another point-blank shot that Westmont has missed in this game.
4:22 left in the third. Pinckneyville out in front by a healthy margin. We'll be back with more after this local break on the IHSA Basketball Network.
Russell. Russell goes high in the air and lays it in. That's 18 points for Cassie Russell. And now Decatur's lead is 1 point, 33-32. And Decatur has the ball.
1962 action, the last year at Huff Gym. Stephen Decatur taking on Chicago Carver. I think we're probably going to see more from that game, so I'm not going to spoil the finish for you. There you go. This one comfortably in Pinckneyville's hands, 47-29. Dick Korn, an outstanding record in the Elite Eight, 8-1 after yesterday's win. He took Pinckneyville to the state championship in '94. Inbound play, foul on Pinckneyville. It'll go against McCombs.
Yeah, as Pierce was going up that lob pass, he got undercut by McCombs. Draws the foul against Pinckneyville.
His first 15 on the Panthers. Westmont to inbounds. Down by 18. Into Pierce, and he's not going to miss the layup.
They know where the ball's going, and they can't stop it.
Pinckneyville handles the pressure. Hicks, lefty jumper, no good. Good job on the board by Pinckneyville. I couldn't see who got the hand on it.
McCombs, yes.
McCombs scored. Somebody tipped it to him.
Good offensive rebound that time by Pinckneyville.
Pierce off the mark. Stedman gets the rebound and has it swatted away. Hicks got a hand on that one.
Pierce is 0 for 6 now from three-point range. And again, that's a factor of legs being tired.
Skip pass to Smith for three. Stedman comes away with it. Pierce, nice move. He's knocked to the ground after the shot. He'll shoot two.
That's all right. I'm sure Dick Korn's over there saying, hey, I'd rather have that guy on his backside than hitting a jump shot with nobody on him. So good effort that time defensively by Pinckneyville, even though they came up with the foul.
Pierce goes to the line. He's got 26. Unanimous first team All-State this year. 2 years in a row for that honor. Does he remind you of anyone you played against in college?
Not really. A guy he reminds me of now is Frank Williams down at University of Illinois. A guy with his size, the ability to handle the ball the way he does and shoot with range. I actually think he's a better shooter from long range than Frankie is. But he's got a bright career ahead of him at Iowa. And Central Illinois fans will see a lot of him against Illinois in the future.
Frank Ricky Williams, of course, one of those manual guys, as Vervac comes up with the layup. And he got fouled underneath. And he'll go to the line for the three-point play. Westmont's not dead yet. Vervac becomes just the third Sentinel to score a field goal in this ball game.
They're starting to create some offense out of their defense with turnovers and rebounds. That's their opportunity to get back in the game. And again, with the two studs on the bench for Pinckneyville with 4 fouls each, this is their chance to get it done.
Dick Korn calls a 30-second timeout for Pinckneyville. They're 24-2 since Christmas. Only back-to-back losses against Anna Jonesboro and Columbia, who lost to this Westmont team yesterday in the quarterfinals and overtime.
And they're very strong. They're a very well-balanced team, even though they've had Majewski and Bowersax on the bench. The team has done a good job of keeping the lead. We'll see how they do coming out of this timeout, 30-second timeout. Good job by Dick Korn to get them settled down and refocused.
Some of the Westmont faithful here, and a look at the Pinckneyville cheerleaders enjoying their second day in Peoria. Vervac at the line. He can cut the lead to 13. He is 79% free thrower. That one's no good. Vervac's a great story. In the sectional semifinal, he had 18 against Leo, hit 4 threes. He won the three-point contest and sang the national anthem. Very talented Jason Vervac as Pinckneyville turns it over, and the momentum's shifting a little bit here.
Well, I think they missed a travel call initially, so they got him back with 5 seconds. But, right, that's 3 consecutive turnovers now for Pinckneyville.
3 minutes left. The lead is 14 here in the third quarter. Pierce can't get it.
And Pinckneyville content to let Pierce run the show. Just want to make sure they block out on the defensive rebounds. They can go the other way, and a travel call.
Hicks turns it over. Turnover number 14 for Pinckneyville. They're being bitten by the turnover bug here at the end of the third quarter. Pierce desperately needs some help for the Sentinels. Stedman way off the mark. Probably a bit out of his range. Jump ball will go to Pinckneyville.
Boy, a bad miss there. Not a very good shot. Westmont now 0 for 10 from three-point range. That time Stedman didn't even draw iron.
Pinckneyville's done a pretty good job against the pressure, but still they've turned it over quite a bit here as they get the bucket from McConaughey, the sophomore.
Nice pull-up jump shot there in transition from about 5-7 feet. It's a tough shot.
Pierce the lefty. Nice move by Pierce.
And they're going the other way already. Good transition out of a made basket. Tipped off the hand.
Gets a hand on it. It'll be Pinckneyville ball. Pierce now with 30. Stedman comes out for Westmont. Michael Del Preto, number 11, into the ball game. Here's Hicks, the lefty.
Quick shot that time out of bounds set. They don't really need to be launching shots right now.
Here's Del Preto for 3, and how about a teammate stepping up?
Cut to 11.
His first basket of the afternoon.
They can get down this deficit down to about 7 or 8 points by the start of the fourth quarter. They have a chance.
Still a lot of time left, still a long way to go, even though they've cut into this Pinckneyville lead.
Good cut.
Oh, great pass. Count it. McConaughey again. And he's really stepped up with Majewski and Bowersax on the bench with 4 fouls.
Great awareness out on the floor. Takes it strong in the basket. That's been the weakness for the Westmont defense, is in the lane area. When they extend their defensive pressure, they're open for those back cuts.
That ends a 9-2 Westmont run. He can't convert the free throw. 53-40. Stedman will come back in on the next dead ball. Pierce blocked and got away with it.
He's got 32. It looked like he took a little hop step that time, and that was a good no call by the officials. But again, Westmont's extending their defense. Pinckneyville getting beyond it again. And there's McConaughey. McConaughey and McCombs. The dynamic duo off the bench. Here's the three, no good. 0 for 7 behind the stripe. And a charge that time. McConaughey didn't get the call. He's feeling it. Good aggressive foul on McConaughey. Bad decision that time by McConaughey. He's made a couple of really good decisions in transition, pulling up for that short-range shot. That time he tried to take it at the basket, and Pierce did a good job maintaining position, drawing the charge.
Pierce is hanging onto his shorts at the other end, and you know he's tired.
Oh, he hadn't been out of the ball game yet. And he played 36 of the 39 or 37 minutes in yesterday's game.
30 seconds left. It's a 13-point Pinckneyville lead. They've withstood this charge here at the end of the third quarter with their two of their three stars on the bench with foul trouble. They've really done a great job handling the ball against the pressure. As Fisher takes it to the hole, he'll go to the line. Where he is perfect in this tournament. Fouls on Forsley, his first. There's Dick Korn. Trying to get back to the championship game for the first time since '94.
Hoping his team can extend this lead to 15 and weather the storm that Westmont has put on him here in the third quarter. I'm not sure if Westmont has another run in him like this. They all look a little tired out there.
Fisher still perfect. 6 of 6 yesterday at the line. Same today. He's got 8 points. Verback for 3. And it's out of bounds. It'll be Pinckneyville ball with 2.6 seconds left in the third. Good look at senior Haven Hicks. And Fisher will just hang on to it and run out the clock here in the third. 57-42, Pinckneyville with the lead with 8 minutes to play. We'll be back with more from Peoria after this network break on the IHSA Basketball Network.
The fans have really been whooping it up here at the tournament. And when you consider that the new assembly hall, where this event will be held next year, can accommodate nearly 2.5 times as many people as Huff Gym.
And that's more highlights from the '62 state final. Chicago Carver with Cassie Russell and Joe Allen, who has his number retired on the wall here as a member of the Bradley Braves. Number 31 up on the wall. John Schneider, the Stephen Decatur head coach. Larry Hawkins, the coach of Carver back in 1962. It was a 1-point ball game.
Bauer, Sachs, and Majewski remain on the bench to start the fourth quarter with 4 fouls. McConaughey and McCombs really stepped up in their absence in the third quarter.
Sure have. This is a 15-point ball game. Inside to Pierce, up and good. Give him 34 on the afternoon. 34 of 44. Wow.
That was a little too easy. Pinckneyville's going to have to do a better job than that. He can string together a real run of points.
McConaughey shot fake up and good. He's in double figures with 11.
Westmont needs to get a stop defensively. He can't trade baskets right now with Pinckneyville, and that's all they're content of doing and extending their defense.
Stedman, he can't get one to go down for the life of him. 2 of 11 from the floor. And again, Pinckneyville beats the double team. Fisher takes it himself.
Just poor defense in transition by Westmont. And a turnover out of bounds. They crossed the end line before they got the ball in.
A 16-point Pinckneyville lead coming up tonight. Well, your next game after the 3-point Country Insurance Showdown is Bureau Valley against Pana, followed by the slam dunk contest at 2:30 here in Carver Arena.
free throw line jumper won't go. And the whistle against Pinckneyville's McCombs, number 44. It'll be 18 fouls, 19 fouls now. Send Westmont to the line for a 1-on-1 bonus opportunity. Bighorn sweating a little bit over there. Still has a 17-point lead. A little bit of a cushion, but he'd certainly like to see that extended back to 20. Del Preto at the line. Makes his first one. Still a long road back for Craig Etheridge and the Sentinels. Del Preto just 7 for 10 from the line coming into this one. Makes 1 of 2. Pinckneyville comes out of there with it. Poor decision there. Should have used the timeout. He had the ball on the floor, nobody to pass it to. And a foul inside on Del Preto. He reached in as McConaughey got it in good position down low again. And this just underscores, Dick Korn, we were talking with him the other day, said he ran into an elderly lady at the grocery store in Pinckneyville, and she said, there's 2 things I like, that your team plays hard and they pass the ball to each other, and they sure do share it. Bauer Sachs with 19, Fisher with 10, and McConaughey off the bench with 11, picking it up, the sophomore, picking it up as Pinckneyville battles foul trouble. And that's a sign of good coaching when you got guys that can step in when your stars are out of the game. Well, this is important too. They're playing the first game of the semifinal session, the championship game tonight, and they've got some of their key players getting a lot of rest in this ball game. And Bauer, Sachs, and Majewski. We'll have to see how that plays out in the other semifinal game as well. 13 now for McConaughey off the bench. Pierce double team down low. He gets down the lane but can't make the layup. Great move, couldn't finish that time. Well, it's a 1-on-5 show right now, and unfortunately, Pierce is literally outnumbered. Kyle Smith does a little keep away. Little fade away. McConaughey again. McConaughey with 15 points now. Great performance off the bench. And the Pinckneyville leads back to 20. Lean in Vervac, and it'll be a foul on Fisher. Vervac will go back to the line. 3 on Fisher, and Westmont's now in the double bonus. Vervac will shoot 2. Did you ever sing the national anthem before one of your games? No, never was asked. There's probably a reason for that. At least 1 or 2 reasons. Jason Hoagland back into the ball game now for Pinckneyville. And it's been an impressive display on both ends of the floor for the Panthers here in this semifinal game. Hicks off the glass and good. Nice little soft touch, laying it off the glass. Haven Hicks is left-handed, so went to his natural side there and got it up off the glass and in. That's his first basket of the afternoon. Vervac tries the 3. It's good. That's the first 3 of the game for Westmont. 67-50, Pinckneyville, a 17-point lead. Back with more after this network break.
Don't even think about it.
Lee Hall, Matt Tapworm back in Peoria, and March Madness back in Peoria next weekend. Quarterfinal action Friday here at Carver Arena. Semifinals in the championship on St. Patty's Day, and the Country Insurance 3-point showdown as well. It'll be another exciting weekend here in the River City. promises to be, and we'll also may have a local team in Peoria-Richwoods if they can make it through next Tuesday's Super Sectional.
You don't have to wait till next week, though, for a more great March Madness. Tonight, the third place game. It's always an important game, trying to get the best trophy you can. Followed by the championship, the home of March Madness, Peoria's Carver Arena, the 6th year they played here in Peoria. They played here in Peoria way back at the Bradley Gym in 1910 and again in 1912. So it moved around back in the early days before settling in Champaign and then moving here 6 years ago. 5:20 left, a 15-point Pinckneyville lead. 5 seconds gone.
They had another back cut basket. The defensive pressure that time by Westmont to try to create a turnover and ended up with a 5-second call.
And it appears as though one of the most storied high school basketball programs in the state of Illinois will play for another championship here tonight. Pierce leans in, and blocking foul, counted. He'll go to the line. He's got 36 points.
Good defensive effort that time by Jason Hopland for Pinckneyville. He was right on him. Just slides over at the last minute. You see, didn't have his shoulders square. But Pierre Pierce was able to lay it in off the glass. And now the starters are back in. Bauer, Sachs, Majewski, and Kyle Smith off the bench. Even with 4 fouls with 5 minutes to go. And the crowd is cheering for the effort by the substitutes for Pinckneyville.
Great effort by Michael McConaughey filling in with 15 points off the bench.
And McCombs as well. He had a couple of big buckets and had 5 rebounds while he was in there.
Pierce 6 of 7 at the line this afternoon. Now 7 of 8. He's got 37 points. But his team still trails by 14. Reach in on Stedman.
Bauer Sachs, as soon as he touched the ball, fumbled it. A little cold after sitting on the bench for as long as he did. But he'll go to the line now for a 1 and bonus opportunity.
Bauer Sachs at the line. I want to welcome WRSP and WCCU to the IHSA Basketball Network. 4:57 left in this one. It's Pinckneyville with a 67-53 lead over the Westmont Sentinels.
Westmont unable to clear the rebound off the missed free throw. Majewski again battling for the rebound, gets the loose ball, possession back to Pinckneyville.
Here's Majewski with a nice move. He's got 11 after sitting much of the second half with foul trouble. Vervac tried to hit his second 3 of the afternoon and missed. Coming up next after this one, it's Pana and Bureau Valley. The winner there will face the winner here in the championship game tonight at 8:15. Nice passing, Hicks off the glass.
A lot of holes in that Westmont defense right now. And Pinckneyville's definitely finding them.
It's Saturday afternoon and the bank is open for Pierre Pierce.
He was short on all of his other 3-pointers. He made sure he wasn't short that time.
Banks in the 3 to give him 40.
The gamble on the defense pays off as Pinckneyville was able to get by and lay it in.
Fisher now with 12, 73-56. Pierce posts up, now turnaround jumper, tough shot by Pierre Pierce, give him 42.
It's doubtful that Westmont can come back from this 15-point deficit right now. But what a show Pierre Pierce is putting on for this crowd.
And they'll get to see him again tonight.
Good no call, good strip that time by Brandon Stedman.
Bauer Sachs lost it on the way to the hoop.
Deep 3.
And Nice more good passing. Boy, the big guys can pass for Pinckneyville, can't they? Majewski now with 13.
That was the front line for Pinckneyville leading the break. Bauer sacks down to Haven Hicks into Majewski, who was trailing on the play. Good hustle that time by the big man for the Panthers.
And that's Urbis with his first basket of the afternoon. And Craig Etheridge is going to go to his bench in the final 3 minutes here.
Dick Corn ought to think about going to his bench as well. Now that they're back up by 17. Rest his players for tonight's championship ball game.
Hicks now has 9. Well, we've talked about it. 2 of his frontline guys have gotten a lot of rest with foul trouble.
They have. He wants to make sure they're ready to play tonight.
Pierce couldn't come up with the alley-oop pass, jump ball, and it'll be Westmont ball in the alternating possession with 2:20 to play. Westmont goes to the bench. Steve Larson, Matt Wenig, Antonio Nierim into the ball game for the Sentinels when we return. 77-60, Pinckneyville is going to the state championship game. 2:20 left. Back with more after this network break. Welcome back to Carver Arena. Our Midwest Dairy Association local dairy farmer scholar athlete for Westmont, Nick Laramatis. GPA 4.2, #1 in his class, headed to the University of Illinois, all conference academic football and baseball. And for Pinckneyville, Darren McCombs, one of the key players off the bench today. 4.89 GPA, headed to SIU, either Carbondale or Edwardsville, in computer engineering, baseball merit award, plays football and runs cross country for the Panthers. Waterloo Jabot providing the entertainment here this afternoon. John Birchler, the band director.
Westmont's cleared their bench. Pierre Pierce is out of the ball game. He's got 42 in this game, along with the 69 he had coming in. He's sitting at 111, needs 46 points in the third place game to tie Jay Scheidler's all-tournament record.
And of course, they include the Sweet 16 in those records because back in the good old days, it was a 16-team tournament.
And Pierce had 45. No, he didn't have 45. He had 41. I was thinking of in the quarterfinal game. It was 42 today. Justin Schrake with 45. He actually has 75 points coming into the next semifinal game, which actually was ahead of Pierre Pierce's pace.
And free throw in and out for Adam Hardy into the ball game for Westmont. 2:10 left here. An impressive display for Pinckneyville against the player many feel is the best Class A player in the state. It'll be Pinckneyville against the winner of Pana Bureau Valley. And there was an article in the local paper earlier this season about how the South had not had a title in a few years in Class A, and it could be Pinckneyville against Pana for the state championship. Although Bureau Valley's got a lot to say about that. They're ranked second.
Pinckneyville is just a well-coached team, have a lot of good athletes. Their big men really handle the ball well. Just an unselfish team.
Here comes Matt Wenig with it. That's Matt Fordley, number 23, and they toss it away. 32 into the ball game, Brian Mizuki. And number 20, our scholar athlete, Nick Laramatis. Panther crowd getting into it here in the final minute. They know they're going to play for a state championship. State champs in 1948 and 1944 or 1994. And ironically, Pinckneyville could play Pana tonight if Pana would win. Those teams faced off in the 1988 state championship, won by Pana. We could have a rematch of '88. Jim Albrecht and Doug Altenberger coming up next with the call of Bureau Valley and Pena. And just a little short by Mizuki.
The rest of the team was just a little short for most of the ball game. Pierre Pierce sitting on the bench. What an effort out of him in the 3 games of this tournament series so far.
Needs 46 to tie Jay Scheidler. I remember watching Jay Scheidler play and heading out to the driveway and pretending I was Jay Scheidler and playing for Lawrenceville. That was back in the St. Bernard's Wildcat days. There's Dick Korn playing for his 2nd state championship tonight. And another short 3. That's Nick Lear-Amatis. And it'll be Pinckneyville ball with 1.4 left. Stick around. We've got the 3-point showdown coming up next here on the IHSA network. Oh! That was Nolan Kellerman. You win a car if you hit a half-court shot, don't you? 77-61. Congratulations to Westmont. They will play for 3rd place tonight. They're now 28-4, and Pinckneyville's going to the state championship after their 30th win. They're 30-4, and they'll play the winner of Bureau Valley and Pena tonight for the title.
Great team effort by Pinckneyville with some of their key starters on the bench in foul trouble. They were able to get good contributions out of their bench, extend the lead while they had those guys on the bench, and withstood a barrage of 42 points by Pierre Pierce, the All-State going to Iowa.
And Dick Korn gets congratulations from the Pinckneyville cheerleading squad. And let's go ahead and catch up with Kurt Pegler and the winning coach, Dick Korn.
All right, Lee, thank you. Dick Korn is with us. And Michael McConaughey, let's start with him. Off the bench, 15 points. When your big guys were in foul trouble, Majewski and Bowersax, you stepped up, and that was kind of the really the key to the game today, didn't you think?
Yeah, I try to do the best I can whenever I come off the bench. Sometimes it's hard, you're kind of cold and stiff, but today I got loose and did pretty good.
4 players in double figures for the Panthers. You guys really spread the wealth around.
Yeah, we try to pass the ball as best we can. We're not a selfish team, and we do pretty good when we share it.
You're playing for the championship tonight. Must feel pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't think last year as a freshman that I'd be here as a sophomore, but I'm glad I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Michael McConaughey, as a sophomore, Coach, you got some great bench play because, as we talked at halftime, you were in foul trouble. You needed some guys to step up, and they certainly did.
Well, Michael and Darren McCombs both stepped up and played really well for us in the 3rd quarter. You know, those 2 kids, Cody and Tim, picked up 4, and we had to go to the bench, and we didn't do a real good job on Pierce, but we guarded everybody else really well and executed offensively and got some layups, got some great shots.
Yeah, certainly offensively. You spread the floor, your spacing was terrific, and you really got some easy baskets.
Yeah, of course, they had to go out and gamble and chase once they got behind, but, you know, sometimes when you're playing with a lead, you get too cautious and you forget to attack. And I thought we did a great job of attacking and going ahead and taking care of business when we had the numbers on our side.
And maybe the fact that a couple of your guys was in foul trouble and didn't get a whole lot of minutes tonight, that might help you for the championship, huh?
Well, I thought about that, you know, at the end of the ball game, you know, maybe that was a blessing in disguise, but you never know. That championship game, so many things can happen. We're just happy to be there, and we'll do the best we can.
Good luck tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, Dick Korn is headed to the state championship. His team won back in 1994, and they'll try and win tonight in 2001. Lee?
All right, Kurt, thanks a lot. Go Pinckneyville Panthers. They're going to the state championship game tonight. And one of their assistant coaches, I believe his name's Eric Bruns, hit the game winner. I'll never forget that against Eureka back in 1994. 3-point shootout coming your way next. Players getting warmed up for that after a 77-61 Pinckneyville win. We'll be back with more from Carver Arena after this local break.